Alright, so to finish up this, we're gonna add also these dividers and some legs. I also want to discuss again this pillow. Again, we just kind of made a copy of it, and it's a little bit more curved than it needs to be for this part of the couch. So actually gonna make a copy of it so it's not the instance one, and I'm gonna modify it a little bit so it fits a little better to what's supposed to be happening here. To do that, I'm gonna actually I'm in the animation mode, and I want to be using not the linear deformers, but I want to be using the lattice, and I'm gonna click on the option box for that. And what this does, it creates a little bit of a bounding box that you can actually use to kind of modify your object a little bit more organically. So I'm just going to use the default that comes with it. Click apply, and as you can see, just kind of build this kind of box around it, which I'm going to go into my top viewport, and on the lattice itself, I can select a component of it. Let's see if I can, the lattice point. Alright, and then I'm going to go back into my top viewport, and I'm going to start moving some stuff around again, just to kind of make it fit what's going on in this part of the couch a little bit better. And it's a little easier than having to go in there and modifying the actual model locally, and it kind of keeps the organic nature of it without changing it too much. So, and again, this is another one of those things that, again, I can just kind of keep modifying this a little bit until I get something that I like better, or it fits the couch a little bit better. Like this. And again, gotta keep in mind that there is a this is a node, and there's a little bit of a dependency between the two. You can always just kind of get rid of it again by going into edit and then delete by type and history, or at least should have been able to edit, delete by type history. Okay, so now we don't have that there. And we have a piece of like a pillow that kind of works a little better, at least for that section of the couch. And again, I would only do that if I know that I don't need to modify the shape of it anymore, since we made them instances to begin with, so any changes that I would make to the original would be affected on the other ones. Let's go ahead and create the dividers, and again, this again, it's just going to be a very simple piece of let's start with the primitive, and cube. Again, it's going to be something along these lines. Just gotta make it fit there between the divisions. Maybe modify a little bit. Okay, and again, I might use a little bit of creative license to make this one kind of work a little bit better. I guess for the purposes of this demonstration, so I can just add. I'm going to start by adding a little bit of edge loops so I can add a little bit of sharpness there. Here. And if I wanted to, I could also kind of give it a little bit of a seam here, like I did with the other one. So I can just select these edges and bring them around. don't want. Okay, there we go. I want to go into let's switch back into Polygon. Select, convert into faces, and I want to extrude that. Again, just a little bit, nothing too crazy. And again, I just want to make a preview here, see what that's looking like. I'm gonna have to maybe add a couple of more loops so it's the seam's a little more pronounced. So I'm gonna go back into my insert edge loop tool. Could be even closer to that actually, like that. And I could add one right here to create a little bit more sharpness. And again, something like that could work really well for this. Could probably go in here and just kind of change it up a little bit more, but I think this will do just fine. Next thing I want to do is do an instance of it, and again, just in case I need to modify the original so I can make more changes to it, it'll just do it to both. So Control Shift D, that's the duplicate special. I just want to make sure it's one copy of it, so it is, and then apply. Alright. I just want to make sure that it just fits in the area where it's supposed to go. And okay, I'm already encountering an issue now. That I thought it was bigger than it's supposed to be, and it's just fine. Just move that to the side a little bit. And then the last detail we're going to do is the legs, and that seems to be pretty simple, or at least seems to be. So let's see what we can do about that. Basically just need to create one and then just make a bunch of copies and instances. So let's start by creating a primitive sphere. I mean, I can always change the side of it, the size of it, by scaling the whole thing down. For now, I'm just going to keep it that size. We'll just make it a little bit bigger, a little bit smaller. That should work fine. And where did my sphere go? Okay. So we have a sphere. The bottom is kind of flat, and it has this kind of coming out from the side. And again, that can be pretty much anything. I could pretty much just make that out of another primitive. Basically create a cylinder, and just make it a cylinder that's wider at the top than it is at the bottom. And it's okay if it's not one piece. Not everything in 3D. When it comes to doing this hard surface models, they don't need to be. So let's make this like that. Make sure that I take the cap subdivision. So I'm going to face. Scale that. Okay, another thing that I want to do is maybe change the pivot of my object so I can rotate it from the bottom. So I'm just going to move it to the bottom and then just rotate. Then I want to go to the front viewport. Okay. Let's go to the side viewport. Alright. So see what's going on here. We'll just get rid of it at the bottom here. Okay. And the picture's a little pixelated, so I can't really see all the details, which is why I can just maybe take a little bit of creative license of how this is going to look like. Just going to move this up a little bit. Can definitely come here and fill the hole. And I'm going to go in here and make another extrusion along these edges. So select, convert, two faces, and then extrude. Like this. I need to go to the side for this. Just gonna bring it down like this, and could probably also bevel this edge. So let's go ahead and do that. That's a little bit too much, and again I can always go back into my channel box and modify that to fit whatever I needed to do. That's still a little bit too much, and maybe 2. And I can go into my normals and just soften the edges so it's not as blocky. Again, this is one of those things that's not going to be directly right on the camera, so I don't really need to give it a lot of resolution. So I'm basically gonna go ahead and just group these objects and then basically instant them through the whole base. But in order to do that, I'm going to use the outliner, which is this. So this is the base of the leg, and this is the actual body of it. And to group them, I'm basically going to go here and middle click on the leg and just drag it into the leg right here. And now it's basically grouped as one object on my outliner. I can come here and just rename it leg, so I can see in my outliner, what it is. And then I'm just basically gonna place it where it's supposed to go, like this. And again, it's probably better if I do it to my top viewport, wireframe mode. Then just gonna do this, and I can just make a couple of instances of it and just kind of fill out the bottom of it. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and I'm just gonna basically finish this in the next video. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the legs on my own, and on the next one we'll discuss what would be the last steps that I would do in order to finish this